start writing. I know it's coming. I need inspiration. 지난 밤 하늘만이라도 저 바라바라 웃지 마. 쉽게 돌아오지 않던 color. Says that I suffer lately. Open a heart to see it. Shout, she got it this playground of your own. 하나 둘셋 나만의 색을 찾아. 하나 둘셋 내 silence. One and two tip you're brushing your soul. Color the way you want. 하나 둘셋 내 멈추지는 마. 하나 둘셋 내 One and two keep connecting your soul. Share the gift of yours, yours.
It's for somebody special. Yeah, can't wait it out tonight. Baby, you special. Can't wait it out tonight. Yeah, can't believe it's so. Yeah, 20 nights been so. Baba don't lose composure. Yeah, girl, my champion lover. Would you wait for me, girl? Yeah, cause now you did cross my mind. Would you wait for me, girl? I know, ain't no distance, ain't no time to get me back to you. Coach, yeah, give me coach. Yeah, give me coach. Yeah, to get me back to you. Give me coach. Yeah, give me coach. Nah, give me coach. Yeah, to get me back to you. Cannot deny it's a ghost. And if God is my witness, now you be my weakness. My no be boss. See Oluwa don't bless me. Not true, no be ghost ride. If they say I didn't listen, baby, you're the one that I'm missing, girl. And my darling, would you wait for me, girl? Yeah, cause now you did cross my mind. Would you wait for me, girl? I know, ain't no distance, ain't no time to get me back to you. Coach, nah, coach, yeah, get me back to you. Oh, nah, coach, yeah, to get me back to you.
Hello, everybody. What's happening? Happy Wednesday to you. Mike. Guess what day it is? We are back at last, and it is the end of our session 8 schedule here at Role Playing Unlimited. We did 4 of them back in November, and we did one of them this past Sunday to kick off our Act 5 and our final one here tonight. Hope you're all having a great week so far. That's a great commercial. Mike. I love that one. And we welcome you back to not feudal Waterdeep, but cyberpunk Waterdeep. We have some developments since the last time we played, but we recapped a lot of that before we kicked off Sunday night. And as we're starting a bit later here tonight, I will forego the full recap during our downtime period. If you would like to catch up on that 10-minute explanation or so, I encourage you to check out the Sunday evening return to the Coalescence from 3 nights ago. Covered it pretty well there. Any questions that our players have here tonight will, of course, cover those bases, but as far as me going on a long tangent right here at the start of the session, not gonna happen tonight, so we'll save off on that till next time around. Welcome back, friends, to Role Playing Unlimited. I am your host, Tragically HP. Look, I'm down here now. All right, let's get in the up in the Discordy here.
Little pig, let me in.
Yes, let me in, please and thank you. That's right. Do you know what movie I watched on Christmas Day? I watched Jingle All the Way. It's his greatest performance with the Rock'em Sock'em Robot. It's Turbo Time. Yes? Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hey.
So much better now that Arnold and Daniel are here at the same time. It's so I'm not convinced you're not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've never seen both of you in the same room at the same time.
Agreed. It is good to be back, friends. Gail, how you doing over there?
Okay, how are you?
Beautiful. I am doing wonderfully. And Don, what's the good word, man?
Don is sick today.
Oh, man.
But I will keep up and keep out and stuff.
I hear you. I've been rolling my saving throws successfully this week, but I am not certain how long that trend will last. This wind is kicking my butt.
Just don't go into a sewer with rat bites on your legs.
Oh, for goodness sake, yeah, definitely don't do that. Yeah, maybe that elf will be able to help out the party now that we've got a slow dance under our belt here. Well, welcome back to Cyberpunk Waterdeep. We will jump right on to the battle map here. We are short 2 players here tonight. One of them said he would be iffy at best. The other appears to be online and playing a video game right now and completely unaware that we are back and on a gaming schedule. But as he is an Epic supporter, we'll just kind of hand wave that little man, I'm forgetting the word. The faux pas, I guess, would be the what I'm looking for. So welcome to the massive Cyberpunk Waterdeep map here, which despite all the detail I put into it, I went back to this map more than any other map that I have worked on for the Coalescence. 5 copies of it, in fact. First copy, as I began to build the scale for it, it just became obvious that the buildings were far too large for the scale of the map, and this is a very small map. If you take your measurement tool and measure one side to the other, it's about a mile-ish, 2 miles, 1 to 2 miles in each direction. So it's very small, but it's a large map for the small size it contains. I figured I would do an homage to a Justin map here. And we find ourselves here at Tank's Castle, the location that we spent several sessions at the tail end of the Coalescence Act 4, clearing out and occupying for 3 different tables, one of whom is no longer here with us. They are now back over in Orange Enemir, assisting the Sunday night table with what they got going on. And as for us here, we do still have the company of the good samurai Noburo, who has assisted us on many occasions thus far, including during our downtime. Before we proceed, it occurs to me, Don, Gale, and Ken, did you guys see that last message I tagged you guys in over in Downtime RP?
Yes, we made adjustments to our character sheets, Gail and I.
So did I.
Beautiful. Alright, so we got all that accounted for. And with that being the case, let me just do a once over here on my notes. Make sure I am not forgetting anything, and then we will proceed. Yeah. Oh, yes. The Gossamer bulb that the Time Mistress passed out to each of our tables. Each of our tables gets 3 of these bulbs. They are very, very fragile to the touch. You're going to want to store them in a very safe location, and do not bring them out into the field of combat unless you are absolutely certain that you're going to be able to make use of them, because they are that fragile that even a very low AoE could potentially deal some heinous damage to these things. They are used to transport your characters from wherever they may be in the field through an ethereal tunnel back to their home base here at the castle. It is not a very large map, but even still, having the ability to quick pace yourself back here will be invaluable. These are the only 3 guaranteed long rests that we can count on here for the foreseeable future, so use them wisely. And for that matter, who or which characters in your party do we want to carry these bulbs? Sunday night, split them amongst 3 characters. I don't know if you guys want to have one person carry all 3, or if we want to split them out just in case one person gets damaged and it possibly becomes an issue at that point.
Well, first things first, does anybody need a bag of holding?
I was just gonna say I can make one.
I
have
have 3.
one.
I have 3, so if anybody wants one, I can give you one.
I
have
would love a
2.
bag of holding. I would love one.
All right, Katie, you can have one of my 3, because I certainly don't need 3.
So we got that squared away. Who, back to my question though, who is holding these bulbs?
I believe it would be wise to separate them amongst 3 individuals.
I agree.
Definitely.
It would also be wise to not hand one to the drunkard.
I suggest we
The
divide
drunkard
them.
is more dexterous and wise than you will ever be, my dear.
Should divide them amongst 4 characters. That'll be a true challenge.
Hey, I remember alcoholism. You think that, but
Bia won't have any real desire to hold one, but will if you guys want her to.
Yeah, maybe don't give it to somebody who transforms into something else that may not have as much care for such items.
I will take hold of one of them.
I was just going to say the barbarian probably should not hold one of them.
I can hold one of them. I don't tend to do anything super crazy at this table.
I was going to say, oh yeah, this table's your square.
Yeah, this table I'm playing someone boring, okay? Sorry.
The ranger.
Yeah. I regret this.
It still starts with an R, but it doesn't have the same panache as a rogue.
Yeah.
I guess that leaves Tank taking the last one.
Sounds good. They are best identified just as Gossamer Bulb, on your character sheet. We are unlikely to encounter other items that fit this general descriptor, so it's unlikely that they'll be confused with anything else. That being said, our final task, I believe, would be to address which NPC we want to bring with us. We have 2 votes so far for Ayusikaj Pof, a gnome fighter who has recently taken up apprenticeship under Noboru. And then we have Taskus, who is a half-orc fighter, perhaps ranger, of some reputation, both good and bad. The Thursday night crew NPCs will swear by him. He has ensured their survival on more than one occasion. A couple of party members in the Sunday morning crew, though, however, have it out for him, seeming to be under the impression that he has a criminal past of some sort.
I don't mind a criminal past. Which of us does not have anything within our backgrounds?
I'm just a bartender.
Tank is a upstanding soldier, so yeah, he doesn't have a background like that.
Well, again, we have 2 votes for Ayusikaj. Any votes for Taskus, or do we want to just bring the gnome fighter? They're both fighter types of some sort, so a little redundancy in that respect. Not a lot of separation between them, but they are, of course, separate characters, separate backstories. Our path ahead may be influenced and likewise affected by which NPC we bring with us.
Flip a coin.
If that's how you want to cast your vote, by all means.
Good. I have Theo maybe roll like an insight after having met with both of these guys to see who she feels better with.
Sure.
B is giving us the vibe check.
Taskus is more personable. He definitely seems to be trying harder to make a good impression. Ayusikaj is very no-nonsense, very much just about the task at hand. Rumor is that he used to be a chef in the army, so he's likely just kind of knows to keep his head down and his mouth shut.
Even more reason for Tank to want him to come.
Yeah, with him being a chef and me being kind of a server, it seems to be a better fit for Fia.
Sure. All right. We will count on Ayusikaj then. I have crafted sheets for both of them, but we will count on that in that respect. Final check here. Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. Yep, I think we are good. Let's proceed with the quest at hand, as Noboru will approach you this fine day. Friends, did you see or hear the recent events that have shifted our position once again?
Yes, and it seems to have made all of my studying of the maps of our area completely useless.
Indeed. All of the texts and tomes that we have present here in the castle, while beautiful works of literature, are greatly outdated in this era. We seem to be at least a century ahead by my bearings. But not entirely. In some respects, some of the lands around us still maintain some of their original features, so the maps that you have studied may not be entirely at a loss. For example, the region across the East River here, I strongly believe may still contain a pair of small villages known as the Falling Skies, and Shizukesa. I would recommend, given the knowledge we have in play now of the Lich or Liches, as well as the rumored involvement of this powerful force known as Vecna, we would do best to ascertain our location on the landscape and make alliances with these other survivors if possible. We are not certain yet what the experience they have had with the orange undead menace that we have had, but based on the sudden gloom that has overtaken the landscape, I am inclined to say your help will be greatly needed in all respects here.
Do we have anyone in our group that's actually adept at negotiation and talking to people and stuff?
Fia kind of meekly raises her hand. I've been known to talk people's ears off in my tavern.
And with the throne card, Tank has gained quite the skill at persuasion.
He talks about himself in third person.
Sorry, I was not talking in Tank.
What is this character sheet you speak of?
Well, then my 2 cents would be that when negotiating and chatting these people up, that everyone else remain silent and let them do their thing. We can converse amongst ourselves, but the final words should come from their mouths, as not to confuse our potential allies or ruin things by someone saying something inadvertently.
Also, I feel I should remind you all, I have the ability to speak within minds, but only one at a time. And you'll have to get my attention if you wish to say something to me mentally, because I'll have to form that connection from my side.
Good to know. You all see this like monkey with wings sitting on my shoulder, do you?
Do we?
You do. It's a familiar.
Okay, I was like, I don't know, do we?
I was wondering if the sake I had earlier was somehow tainted.
Yeah, this thing has been following me around for the last, like, it seems like months.
It's hard to keep track of time anymore, but it's cute.
Is it named Kiki and it loves rupees more than anything?
I don't know. I keep thinking that it's just a alcohol-induced figment until people started pointing out that it was real.
It's quite real. I've fed him some dates earlier.
Bad dates.
Ow!
Okay,
Well.
then we're ready.
I just thought you had a new pet.
It would seem that the task of the day is making friends and influencing people.
Nobody.
He said the thing!
Almost
I only
sounds
get
like
this
the
excited
title.
when they say the name of the movie in the movie.
Then you always have to follow it up with, the only way for me to be able to solve this crisis is to become Superman 4, the quest for peace.
Ah, so that's why they call it that.
So yes, across the bridge to the east, it looks to be in working order. Our scouts have made successful use of it, and have reported the peoples living there to be cautious and in a state of heightened security, but they are not the type to attack on sight. So your arrival should be met with caution, but not violence.
That's a relief.
And with that being the case, let's go ahead and start scooting on down. Yeah, whole 250 feet across the landscape here. We're going to be making short work of this map. And similar to our Monday, Tuesday crew playing over in the Kryn, Chicago, we're going to be revealing these hexes very slowly. I did, of course, show you guys the entire map a few days ago in our chat, but then, of course, I've made numerous alterations to it since then, so it may not reflect what you think you know.
I mean, as we are experienced, we're all going to keep our eyes and ears open. But, you know, I do recommend that our ranger should scout a little ahead to make sure that there isn't anything that's going to spring a trap upon us.
Quite
What
fair.
kind of terrain are we?
We're moving from low-cut grass to wild grass as we approach the shores here. The grass gets rapidly unkempt, but otherwise, not a lot of cover for things to hide in aside from that grass. No trees or hills or mountains. It's a pretty flat landscape here.
Well, I'm talking about animals,
It's not really like
snakes,
mountain
and
or
you know, other dangerous critters that could be hiding within the grass and such.
Exactly. I hear you, brother. So yeah, we can have Katie if Lantirthi is amenable to that. Have you roll some survival checks here. Let's do a skill challenge here. We'll have you roll 3 of them.
Survival, you said?
Yes, indeed.
Jesus Christ. Not a nat 1, though, so we're starting off the new year right.
There are signs of battles having recently been fought on this bridge. Based on the remains, you are inclined to think somebody fought off some of those orange undead here. But they seem to have taken the bodies away based on some of the drag marks. It looks like they've been dragged across the river back to the east.
There's so many
So-
bad Winter Ripley's bad guys here.
Exactly.
So I'll, turn around and, tell them, like, they've already been here and things have already happened. We're kind of a little late, it seems, but there are drag marks leading across to the east, if that is how you would like to proceed, or at least consider proceeding if you want to kind of move in this.
I think we should move with a little bit more caution then. So Wizard, what else think?
Russian's always good.
Does that mean stealth? If so,
Maybe not as much stealth as in keeping our. I mean, I have a passive perception of 21, so I think I'll join the ranger up forward so that I can be alert to sounds and stuff.
Yeah, and my passive's 20, so I think we got it, dude.
Alexa, make passive stealth DCs for monsters DC 22. Oh fuck, I'm not on mute. Shit. Sorry.
Oh darn. Oh well.
Waiting for the Alexa in the background to be like, what?
Please tell me you're not having Alexa code DM.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got it all set up here. I got the Echo plugging in DM suggestions for me.
Oh god, no, that's like when I used to like go into my sister's baby monitor and she had an Alexa in the room of her child, and I would go in and I would just say, Alexa, play me some Skinnerd, and then Leonard Skinner would start playing in her house out of her child's bedroom.
Oh, that's beautiful. So more perceptive than stealthy. We're not so much concerned about being quiet. We just want to make sure nothing gets a jump on us, so to speak.
Correct. I mean, we've got
Right,
Tank,
there's
which
not really
is
a lot of
walking man of metal. I
stealthy
mean,
stuff.
that's
Fair enough. Well, then let's proceed the almost 1,000 feet across the river here and reveal our first location of note. No, that's not going to help. Yep. Yeah, we can just make out in the gloom ahead what looks like a lone home standing out here in the gloom.
Maybe we should check on the residents to make sure that they're okay and that they weren't part of the violence that happened on the bridge.
Or see if they're even there at all and alive at all.
Yeah, that would probably be the best course of action at this point.
Okay, so whenever we meet new people, we are the entourage, and she is basically our spokesperson.
Well, all right. Let's shed a little more light here on the situation as you guys approach closer. A man exits the front door carrying a lantern.
I show my hands empty in a sign of, coming in peace.
He nods respectfully. He is quite venerable and not wearing any shoes. Appears to be just wearing a very simple robe and a very small hat that's fit rather snugly around his small head. And he just kind of very frailly looks out at the group of you and speaks in Japanese. Where from do you come, strangers? Are you friends or enemies?
I look at Tank and see if he wants me to talk or if he wants to talk.
I'll just nod my head for you to talk.
And in Japanese, because hey, I learned that. I'll say, we've come from across the bridge. We hope to be friends. We are not undead like the ever-present threat that is all around us. It would appear that you have had recent altercation with them, based on what we found on the bridge.
Yes, not us in particular, but the defenders of the village beyond. Yes, they recently dispatched a great number of them trying to make their way across the river.
Good to hear.
You are taking residence in the castle that was formerly abandoned. Is that correct? You are across the river, you say?
When you say formerly abandoned, how long was the castle abandoned? Just to your recollection.
It has not been lived in for near a century. It has mostly been a tourist attraction for these lands until the spread of the undead.
Like looks at the group like with that revelation and turns back. Yes, we are from the castle. Have you noticed the recent change in environment?
The gloom? Yes, but of course. How could you not? You do seem rather out of place. We have noticed a number of people wandering the countryside, seemingly displaced and out of time, as it were.
Your perceptions are correct. I believe we are apparently from what you might consider the past, or perhaps a different timeline altogether.
Someone is going to owe me some money, as that was my speculation entirely.
You are a very wise man indeed. I suppose there's probably someone in charge of this village. Perhaps we should meet with them as well.
Well, you've come to the right place. We are those of us who live here at the Choro Risotto, the Council of Elders of this village. I myself am named Muji.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Muji. I am Fiaelian. You can call me Fia for short if that is too much.
Ah, I appreciate that. He makes introductions with the rest of the group as are willing.
Yeah, I provide my name.
I provide nothing.
I will ask him, does the name Noburo mean anything to you?
Noboro, not an uncommon name. There is a Noboro that works, or rather pays homage at the Kabuki Shrine across the river to the east.
I meant more of like something from your histories, perhaps.
A number of figures of note, I might say, yes. A few come to mind, indeed. Why do you ask?
Does the name Tank ring any bells?
Not that I can recall.
There is a Noburo with us in the castle as well. He was also from the same time frame as us, and if that is indeed your past, it was possible he was a noteworthy figure in your histories.
He's not the one who was a young samurai of note who inexplicably vanished into the wilderness, never to be seen again.
Did he wield a Tetsubo of holy power?
Indeed he did.
I'm sure it's mere coincidence then.
I cannot believe that such is. Puzzle pieces appear to be appearing from the ether, connecting in unexpected ways.
As they tend to do. Have you had an offer from a powerful undead being?
Undead? No, we've not met any of them capable of making any offers other than violence. You're saying that there are those that speak?
There are a few of the lesser ones who seem to retain some semblance of themselves, but the ones I'm speaking of are the ones who are orchestrating the entire thing. They are powerful liches, I suppose is the word.
No, not familiar with any in that respect.
Well, perhaps that is for the best. We had an encounter with them. They tried to offer us undead status and to join their forces. Of course, we refused.
As well you should. As are my perceptions correct once? I'm having a hard time with this voice too. Like it's a thin line between this and oh, is that Brannigan? Yeah, smells like a jockstrap. But are my perceptions correct in that you are getting the lay of the landscape around you?
Yes, to us, much time has passed, and things have definitely changed. There is still some foundation of what we remember, but things are definitely different, and we're trying to see what's out here and form alliances with like-minded.
You will find the people here to be quite reasonable and amenable to such things, especially if you are able to provide some semblance of security. We are quite capable of managing on our own, but this experience that we are dealing with is still rather new.
we are certainly glad to come across those who are reasonable people in this situation. In the past, we have met those who were not, and it fills my heart with joy that to meet you in your village.
I must say that I have a particular joy in knowing that you speak my native language. How is it that this is possible?
We most of us were not able to until very recently. We have learned much in a short amount of time.
I see. So, it is not your native language, obviously.
It is not. I kind of look over the group. Yes, most of us did not speak this language natively. We had to be taught it, but we were able to learn it because of the situation we were in, and it is fortunate for now we can converse. To your perception, how long have you been dealing with these oranges and the gloom, if not one and the same?
It has been about exactly a month at this point. You are versed in their existence as well. Same question for you.
It's been a little hard to keep track of time, but would that seem correct to me? A month?
Closer
Or
to 2, maybe 3.
But I would have to think that it's been over 2 months, closer to 3, that we have been dealing with it. And again, I'm not sure exactly how it works or any of that. It could be a separate timeline or your actual past. I'm not sure, but if it was your past, then it is interesting to me that at some point it stopped and then resumed again.
Yes, and there is no mention of any event like this in the histories. Maybe a legend or a folklore here or two, but nothing concrete.
Then it must not be the same because there's no way what we experienced would not be in your histories. Is there? I mean, and you converse.
Oh, you're cutting out there, brother.
I say I'm more than happy to remain standing in the road, but she kind of looks at his old, frail form. Would you like to sit somewhere and talk?
By all means, why don't you and your friends come inside the Elder House? You will find it quite accommodating.
Thank you so much.
Yep, I will enter, following behind her.
Yeah, as soon as you guys are welcomed in, your clothes, any dirty excess garments like cloaks, capes, and what have you are taken with the promise of being cleaned and returned to you in short order. You are each offered a stout drink or some hot tea or both, whichever, to warm your bones from the chill autumn air. Additionally, meals are already set about and plates are being prepared for you, mostly seafood and things of that nature, and a lot of rice for our sides there. But otherwise, they are quite hospitable to a group of strangers who arrive on their doorstep armed. And of interest here at this location is every one of them, all human, of course, but they all appear to be at least 75 plus years old.
Well, he did say the Elder House.
I will gratefully accept the alcohol.
I will, if there's like an area where like people place their stuff as they're coming in, type of thing, I'm gonna take my weapons and put them there to keep, just to be more personable.
Very cool.
As will I. I won't have any clothes for them to take, but I will accept enough food and drink to be polite. However, I don't really eat or drink it to begin with.
I'll have some food and drink.
We'll also eat and drink.
Going to very cautiously eat and drink. I'm going to wait for other people to eat and drink to see if something bad happens. And then if everything seems okay, then I too shall eat and drink.
I mean, don't rely on me because I have advantage against all that. So don't ever rely on Tank. He doesn't
I
get
mean,
poisoned
Tank
easily.
should have made his character like frickin' Bender from Futurama. Like, you run on alcohol. Like, yeah, bring it on!
I mean, that would fit the soldier archetype as well, so.
I am Bender, insert girder.
So I'm also, because of the fact that they're all human, and it would appear that this might be a human land for the most part, gauging their reactions to those of us who aren't human. Because I believe only Dawn is a human in this group.
Yeah, I think he's like one of 3 humans in the entire Coalescence right now that we're playing. Mostly curiosity and wonder. It would appear that in the month or so they've been dealing with this, that they have seen other people wandering the landscape, so it's likely that you're not the first strangers they've encountered, so it's not so much like shock and fear as it is just like curious interest at this point.
And the other question would be, now that we're in the house, what's like the tech level for this place? I mean, because you had mentioned Cyberpunk, so that's why I asked. Not something that would really interest Fia, but I'm sure Tank would be all over it.
Oh, he is absolutely taking interest in anything tech related.
Alright. All those dice rolls just to delay long enough so that I could finish that last bite of pizza, and it's very much matching the feudal setting that you guys just left. Like, it's obviously modernized, like, to probably like the mid to late 1990s standards, but Japan having that rich cultural heritage and keeping, at least in this region, they're keeping things very simple and true to form. There are only a few technological embellishments, of course, like instead of an icebox, they got a refrigerator. A few of these homes would have a television, but signals have all been cut off with the appearance of the gloom, so it's basically just a weird black box that's kind of sitting over in the corner. But otherwise, most of the accoutrements here in this home are matching the setting that you guys just left. Only a few slight alterations. No vehicles also that you note. Like nobody has a car. Some of these houses, as will come up upon them, will have livestock and wagons. In fact, still we won't see a whole lot of automobiles on this side of the maps. Not until we get to the more cyberpunk side of the map that we'll see that.
During the meal, Theo would ask, "You all live here together. Are you all part of the same family?"
The same clan, but not related by blood necessarily. Our families have populated this land for generations.
So, just as a side note, I would have had Aegis, the Steel Defender, wait outside, as I don't know if it would be offensive for my essentially dog to come in with us.
There are some dogs already within the home, so that would not be an issue at all. In fact, if they note that you're leaving it outside, they would politely request that you bring it inside.
I mean, my monkey's coming in with me.
They needs to go outside and stay in the bamboo tree.
I try to tell it that, but it flips me off.
Well, after getting a nice drink to warm your bones after that long hike of almost 2,000 feet and whatnot, I suppose we are ready to roll on. The map, as Tank knows it, we're going to want to head further northeast from this location to get to the Falling Skies village proper.
So, just before we get set off too far, before we set off from the castle, I would have asked around to see if anybody had any non-magical weapons, including our gnome friend.
Oh, well, Ayusi Kaj is definitely equipped. I forget what I gave him. Oh, yeah, he's got a war pick. And he's got a flail and a light crossbow. He's also the, as we will come to learn, having spent just a short while with him,
I have taken the Eldritch Knight specialty as I have grown in experience. So magic is a bit of a something I can dabble in as well.
Would anyone else benefit from me using one of my infusions on their weapon?
Not for me. And you notice that Moahula's great axe is really, really well and sharpened and covered in runes and such.
yeah, I mean, our NPC is rocking regular equipment, so if that's the best option to give a magical item to, he'll certainly take it, but take a backseat to all other player preferences, of course.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, then I will take his favorite weapon, and it is now a +1 weapon.
Fantastic. Oh, that reminds me, I almost made the mistake there myself. When going into the compendium going forward, make sure to note the difference between the 2014 and the 2024 items and what have you. If you try to drag a 24 item onto a 14 character sheet, it breaks the matrix. Or just gives you an error message, whichever is better.
Why not both?
I mean, that's certainly possible. Well, let's check out a bit more of this map here, moving forward.
Well, outside of getting an error message, how do we know if it's a 2024 or a 2014?
It'll say in the equipment, like I just did, where I typed in Warpick, it shows me Player's Handbook and then parentheses 2024, or Player's Handbook with no year after it, in which case that's the original 2014. And then sometimes you'll have an item that even says Free Basic Rules 2014 or 2024. So the Free Basic Rules ones I stay away from entirely because we have enough books in our compendium. We shouldn't need to use those. But if by chance you do use the Free Basic Rules, make sure to note that difference as well, because they have them for both.
Okay, because I haven't seen a year on them, but I've seen where it's like Dungeon Master's Guide or Player's Handbook.
Interesting. Yeah, if you don't see any years on it, then you should be good to go. But if you do see any that say 2024, definitely don't select those.
Gotcha.
And we'll proceed along the road here, a little south, and then further northeast. At which point I think we can open up the larger village. That's not what we want. Yeah, that's the whole village right there. There you go.
If we speak to the village people, will they take us to the YMCA?
Only if you ask nicely.
What if we dance for them?
I say you have to do it in song.
You would be best to send a young man, because there is a place he can go. There we go. Well, that's our
And you're
village.
short on your dough.
The village of Falling Skies. How about that? We can just make out the guard tower, or pagoda, even, if you will, off in the distance. To the north side of the village, otherwise a small cluster of buildings, one of them larger than the rest, closest to your entry here. And a massive pile of bones in the center of the village right there.
Do they look like Tarrasque bones?
They do not look like Tarrasque bones. They look like some sort of massive creature, approximately that sized, served next to a heaping spoon of foreshadowing.
Does it look like the bones show any signs of like being burned or broken in many places or something like that?
Burned, not so much. They are certainly broken into many pieces and scattered across the large central field here. But they definitely have an indication of having been there for a very long time.
Well, that seems unimportant. Let's move on.
We just followed.
As we continue further into the village, we are greeted by people coming out of the larger building right here, led by a middle-aged woman who approaches your group. I am called Tali. You must be the ones we heard about from the Choro Risotto. Villagers from across the lake who are taking refuge in the abandoned castle.
That's correct. I did not realize the elders had already sent word.
Indeed they did. They have also sent word that you are to be trusted, that you are good people. They have read your auras and found that you are of benefit to this land, as well as to our community. Welcome to Falling Skies.
Thank you.
You will
I bow
find
slightly.
refuge, comfort, a warm meal, and a place to stay in this place, if you have need of it. We are a simple, yet capable village of people. What is it that you wish to know of us, as you have made such an arduous distance?
We're gonna work at that. Yes, perhaps not so much in distance as time. I will allow my friend Tank here to ask the questions he needs to ask.
Yes, so the elders, did they send word about the fact that we believe we are from either your past or a past of a timeline that is not quite the same as yours?
An outlandish story, yes. I don't know why I sound like the elder now. Yes, they did. It is, quite an interesting tale, but one that fits in with current circumstances.
The castle that you know to be abandoned in our time actually belongs to me. And the surrounding area I have many maps of, which I have extensively studied. However, there does seem to be some discrepancies compared to what I know to be true about the landscape.
In what respect?
Well, to begin with, the lands to the west of my castle have cities that I do not recognize, and I do not even know how to begin to describe them from what I saw from my rooms at the top of the castle.
Yes,
Might
when
you-
the Kasumiri syndicates acquired those lands a few decades ago, they have undergone radical reconstruction.
Might there be some more accurate and up-to-date maps of these lands in this village that we might look at to try and gain knowledge of where exactly we are now?
Not that I am aware of in our village. Perhaps in the shrine across the river. And she kind of gestures over towards some bamboo trees that you guys can see very faintly in the gloom distance there.
in our previous comment, I'm going to look over to Tank. Maybe you should also inquire about the zombies that have been seen around here and see what the status of those are.
The undead that has been plaguing your area for, I believe the elder said, a month now. How goes the fight against them?
It was quite an alarming few days, to say the least, but after we weathered the initial storm, this heavy fog over the land seems to be the greatest impediment that has been presented. We haven't found too many of them. 2 days ago, a group of 36 or so attempted to make their way across the bridge. Our scouts, well prepared and placed to call for reinforcements, easily routed them in the field just north of the risotto.
I see. The fog has been your biggest detriment then?
It does make the the agriculture is the largest issue that we're facing a problem with, especially after so many weeks of this gloom.
We have noticed that once an area is cleared of the vast majority of these oranges, as we call them, the fog and the gloom tends to lift. Perhaps we can help you with this.
Are you saying that there are a large number of these undead ensconced somewhere nearby that we have not located?
It seems entirely quite possible.
We are certainly gracious for any help that you are able to offer. We cannot begin to point you in a direction, as these buildings are all inhabited. We know who lives in them. No one is hiding any undead, knowingly or unknowingly. But if you are as certain as you seem to be that they are nearby, by all means, yes, please.
I'll go ahead and look to the rest of the group to see if there's anything else that we wanted to talk to this particular village about.
Feel, after kind of gazing at the river for a moment, we'll go. When you mentioned the syndicates across the way, I feel like I noticed some disdain in your voice.
They do not respect the customs that have sustained us as a people for countless generations. It's all about commerce and progress and technology and the fast and easy path, which has never been the way of our people. They have seemingly fallen under a dark cloud, but at the same time a lucky star at the same time.
But you have not had trouble with them.
Land disputes and things of that nature. Members of my family, other families, have lost their ancestral lands in this grab for territory. This is going back decades, years, of course, but as far as violent or anything of that nature, no, nothing particularly.
Has there been communication between the communities since the gloom?
We have not heard anything from them. Most of the information we would gather from that side of the river would come from the television or the new internet, but all of that has been disabled in the wake of this gloom.
The new what? Oh,
It is
many apologies.
it is a more expeditious form of mail carrying, essentially. It's emails about the biggest thing it was done back then.
What is this television you're speaking of?
Oh, how to explain? It is effectively a communications device, but it allows visual communication as well as audio. It can also contain pre-recorded messages or broadcasts, as they are called. Some of them for informative purposes, some of them for entertainment.
I was gonna ask, during the downtime, we had access to both the castle and the mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with access to the mall, we should be somewhat.
Yeah, there was a TV store in the mall. Depending on how much time you spent in the mall, there was a TV store, but
Yeah.
of course with the weird gloom that the Time Mistress herself was creating, we didn't have any signal there either. We just kind of had some of the devices. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Nope. Gail and I mostly stayed at the castle or tavern, so we
Sure.
didn't go to the mall.
Yeah, I think the biggest technological device that people might have acquired would have been like walkie-talkies, a Walkman, or possibly a video camera. Or a typewriter
Tank
if you
spent
needed.
almost all of his time in libraries, so
Right. Yeah, there was a big series of maps there to explore, and I don't recall that anybody thoroughly explored all of it, but we did have a healthy amount of RP there anyway.
And you said there's possibly maps across the river to the east, correct?
That is correct, in the Kabuki Shrine. It is a location accessible by invitation only. Something we could possibly arrange here in our village after those who reside here come to know you with the same level of confidence that the elders at the Choro Risotto came to know you.
Looking around at the village, are they all human?
They are?
So I'll kind of ask her with like a kind of a mischievous little smile on my face. As looking at meeting your people, I noticed that you are all human. Is this the first time you have met someone who is not human?
Not the first time, but I can count it on one hand. We've met some of, I don't want to say your kind. Your kind seems to be as widespread and diverse as one could imagine. But some of the dealings we've had with strangers to this land, it's been a mixed bag. Some of them came here with intent of claiming our homes for whatever purpose they had. If they had perhaps been more gracious and respectful, we may have offered them a place of refuge.
Yes, unfortunately, the place and time we come from, it was very contentious. The situation we found ourselves in had many people in conflict.
Violence in the pursuit of stealing land is something that our people are well familiar with and well prepared against any return to that.
That is good.
There is a legend from several decades back, for over 100 years, I believe. I'm not the storyteller that my grandfather is, but the story goes that a winged beast, a dragon, was once attempting to claim these lands as its own. Such battles we are familiar with going back to such lengths of time. And the remains of this elder beast you can see in the middle of the courtyard that our village surrounds. Whether this legend is true or not, whether these bones belong to something else, it is a place of meditation, of contemplation, of respect for the deeds of our ancestors, and a curiosity from the past.
That fighting spirit will serve you well if the large group of undead do appear nearby.
As you have seemingly had some measure of experience with these undead, are there any tips or methods that you could impart to us?
There are certain forms of attack and skills that one can use to fight them better. However, it does take quite a bit of training to learn these, and not all of us have mastered them ourselves.
Are there texts or other methods of instruction for these skills?
I will say that, well, there are, but it's very complicated. There is a type of weapon, maybe, that is more effective on them than others. It is basically like light, or what was the word I heard? Radiation, I think?
Radiation? That's poisonous to us as well.
I'm not sure how to describe radiant damage in game.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, she completely misread you too.
It is the kind of damage that, for us, would normally come from something holy.
A blessed weapon. Would that be an accurate way of describing it?
Perhaps. Generally, the weapon would have to be strongly blessed by the power of one of the gods or a powerful priest to be able to bestow that form of damage. It can't just be someone has put their mark upon it in favor.
I see. Perhaps
sure.
something could be affected at the Kabuki Shrine, but more likely one of the larger religious shrines would be more appropriate.
Perhaps it really depends on the strength of their faith. Are you, with this line of talk, I feel I need to ask, are you familiar with what I would assume you would call magic?
card tricks and prestidigitation, yes?
No, I mean, if she motions towards the bones over there, like dragons and magic.
Oh. In a real sense, no, definitely not.
I see. So your magic is your technology then.
Yes, yes.
Well, it is through magic that we can create this holy damage as well. Some of us, I don't really have it, but
That would be something I would be very interested in seeing at some point.
Might you have something that is small and damaged?
Small and I believe I do. And she calls to a young boy who runs into the house, and he comes back out a few moments later, and he's got a broken hammer.
yeah, with my telepathy to Tank, I'll just say do his mind. Yes, I don't think me showing my magic would do them any good.
Oh my God! Run, kill
when
it.
presented with the hammer, I'll go ahead and cast Mending on it.
There is a great response of amazement as everybody kind of looks at each other, and the woman Tali that you've been speaking with takes it and kind of uses it to hammer in a loose nail at the post here on the front porch, and then she passes it back to the boy, who looks at it in wonder, and he's touching it all over, and then he runs back in, and there's a group of kids inside who are all looking at it, and they're all fighting over who gets to look at it next.
Probably best that the Metal Man is the one that casts the magic, seeing as how he probably looks the most odd.
Yeah, he definitely looks interesting. A few people are making comments of Tin Man, as that's kind of what he most closely resembles for their eyes.
Some of us are capable of this and greater magic. This particular spell I'm able to do essentially as much as I want. However, some spells I can only do as long as I have energy. I can only cast a certain number of spells more powerful than this a day.
It is as we define as chi. Force of will, force of power that you gain through great self-examination and contemplation.
It is very similar, yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
We
I
manifest it
believe,
in different ways, but we are quite familiar with the concept.
Yes, I believe the person who taught me Japanese also referred to it as mana.
Interesting. Yes, yes. A lot of the kids are knowingly nodding in response to that. A lot of excitement in the younger eyes. A lot of seriousness, but definitely curiosity from some of the adults that are gathered nearby as well. And a bit of alarm and excitement going on from the far side of the community. You guys can only just barely make out the shadowy forms of the homes here in the distance, and really only because they have lanterns basically encircling the homes. With this gloom, the vision is very, very limited. If you guys missed the post that I put up a number of days ago, that your dark vision, regardless of source, is effectively limited to 60 feet. It does make vision on a large community scale like this very, very difficult. So for these people with their human vision, they've done their best to accommodate.
Does that apply to Devil's Sight as well?
It does, yes. Yeah, any form of dark vision has been dropped down to 60 feet in the areas of the heaviest gloom, but things like blind sight, true sight, tremor sense, and the like are unaffected.
Well, I just asked because it's not technically dark vision.
Can you post it? Because as I understand it, have taken.
Well, so
note of
dark vision allows you to see like bright light and dim light, and like dim light and darkness. Devil's Sight allows you to see in darkness and magical darkness as if it's bright light.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this is like an even like deeper supernatural darkness that supersedes that. So yeah, I am understanding it correctly, but just not defining it correctly in terms of Devil's Sight. Yeah, it's more of an obscuring effect than a normal kind of darkness, so to speak.
Okay, that's just why I asked, because it's not dark vision.
Faux show. Oof. So yes, there is some alarm going on the other side of the village here, and the people that you're talking to kind of cock their heads over in that direction, just like, what is going on over there? And it just based on the discussions that you guys can hear from this distance, people are just shouting like, strangers, strangers, alarm, alert, approaching from the north.
Could you use some assistance?
If you are so inclined, she responds. We do have, as I said, we are quite capable ourselves.
We will be happy to assist you in any way possible.
And upon making our way over to that area, there are some tense pleasantries being exchanged between the locals and a small group of, I don't know if you would call them adventurers. A few of them are armed, but for the most part, they don't appear to be the most experienced. But there's a couple dwarves, an elf, halfling, among their number, and even a few humans. They just are not Japanese, so they are encountering the language barrier issue that your group spent so much of the Coalescence Chapter 4 with.
Are they speaking our form of common?
They are. They're basically just like, dude, we don't know what's going on here. We only just arrived a couple days ago. We thought we saw some lights and civilization. We're not trying to hurt you. Like, we'll lay our weapons down.
I'll call out over the din. Hail and well met.
Huh? One of them kind of responds out. They speak. Someone speaks common, and at least for the time being, that does seem to dispel some potential hostilities.
And I'll make my way up to that area so I can at least get eyes on them, and they can get eyes on me.
As she's making her way, I will talk to the Japanese villagers and said, "We understand what they're saying. Let us translate for you so that there are no unnecessary hostilities."
Your assistance is much appreciated, good son.
Yeah, I'll approach the adventurers, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, one of them, a dwarf, kind of calls out, "Hey, lass, you You in good with these people? You think you could maybe help us out? Maybe find us a place to stay at least for the night. We don't need to call this place home permanently, but we don't even know what happened to our homes.
Well, let's talk about that. Where are you from? Waterdeep.
Not too far from Waterdeep, a bit south there, between Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate.
I see. Well, if this used to be Waterdeep, you're fairly far from home. Were you dealing with these kind of motions to the gloom and the undead as well?
Yes, the whole city been overrun for a number of weeks now, almost 3 months. It seemed like, and then suddenly it was like a paralysis placed over the entire city. A few of us seemingly were able to move around, myself and these fine folk among them, but everyone else just seemingly frozen in place. The undead included. Couldn't make heads or tails of it. Couldn't really affect any of them either. Like, it was just like they were frozen and somehow unattached to the reality that we were in. And then just as quickly, maybe a month later, like, we spent a good number of weeks trying to find a new home. We finally found a location, cleared it out, scavenged enough supplies to last us a good while, and then we were just as quickly thrown right out here back into the gloom. We had spent so long fighting off these undead and clearing that gloom from Waterdeep, and now it's like we're being forced to relive all of it again.
Yes, we will be able to shed some light on much of that.
Aye.
If you want, I kind of look back at Tank. I'm sure you will be welcome in the castle across the river.
We've got a castle.
Yes, where we have taken up. It is Tank's castle, and I'm sure you can talk to him. I'm sure you'll be welcome.
Oh, now you're speaking my language, and it's not even Dwarven. Is that true, man of metal, Tank Man? We would have a place in your community.
Yes, as long as you are willing to assist in defending it against the undead and are able to assist in the upkeep of the castle in any way that you are able to, I am more than willing to provide you with shelter there.
Aye, crafting and upkeep is right up our alley, and common bonding for survival is something that we've grown well accustomed to in a short time.
As have we all.
Aye, if you haven't, your carcass is either scattered across the landscape somewhere, or you've risen as one of those orange undead.
In our time learning Japanese, did Noboru ever learn Common from us?
He did. Yeah, he still speaks it a bit broken, though, because he was also trying to learn English from Marco, the two of them planning to become, like, co-leaders, it seemed, of the connected community, and now both of them are in different locations as well, so he can speak a little English and a little Common.
So to the dwarf, I'll say, there's one at the castle named Noboru. He is able to speak both the Common and the language of this land, which is known as Japanese. He is the one who takes care of the running of the castle while I'm away. He has made himself quite useful and assists in leading the community we have fostered there. He would be the best person to find out what services we need at the castle.
Yeah, very good. You've got yourself a deal. If you come back and find that our services are not living up to your expectations, we can have another chat, of course. But I think you'll find a square deal.
Then to our Japanese friends, I'll ask if they might let the group here rest for a short bit before they move on to the castle, so that they can have some rest, because I'm sure they're probably tired.
There are some jokes, of course, about the distance. Well, yeah, it is a long trek across the landscape. It's almost like walking 2 blocks. Yes, of course, we will put them up here. We will see that they are well tended to, a nice foot bath, a nice rest, of course, some food and drink before we send them on their way.
He is trying to hold in her laughter, but she's not real successful with it. She's just like,
So, indeed, we will get that set up and have another at least like 30, 40 minutes here. Like, you guys have only traveled this short distance here from the castle to the risotto to the village proper. And for the second time in that time, you guys are being treated to food and drinks. Of course, everything is very light, so it's not like you guys like overfilled or stuffed back at the first location. So it's like, oh, nice, another drink, maybe another tiny edible or two. If not, that's totally fine as well. But during that period is where we will take our halftime break here and rejoin you in about 5 to 10 minutes with the second half of tonight's adventure, friends. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Are you with us?
Does Tank still want a mind link?
No, that was actually going to be Tank suggesting exactly what you thought of.
Oh, okay. I just saw that on the Roll20 page. I'm like, oh. This whole time, Lantirth has just been giving everybody a death glare.
Well, let's get back into it. When a short while later, after getting our nice NPCs here from Waterdeep some accommodations, they are all re-equipped and ready to head back out. And once again, we have another unexpected commotion. This time in the center of the village square, right next to that heaping dose of foreshadowing. And hey, look at that. Look what we got here. That's not what you want. Yeah, the scale for this map is a bit different. What I did is I copied the section of this map from the world map, if you want to call it that, and just kind of copied that one section over to here. But the big thing with that is scale. So what I ended up having to do is each square is 30 feet. So that is why your tokens do not fill an entire square. And even then, the scale is a bit sketchy at best because we're still kind of iffy on a few feet here or there, but this will best represent our movement and our ability to get around through here. And yes, indeed, the arrival of the Dracolich in this area right here, which for some reason, if you guys see a perfect little sphere of the dragon bones, that's where the Dracolich is arising from. You guys at best can just kind of see some movement, very, very faint movement off in the gloom there, as well as screams and shouts in Draconic. Who in our group speaks Draconic? There's usually at least 7 or 8 of you.
It's not me.
Tank does.
Nope, but if it's deep speech, I got you covered.
Oh, yeah, we didn't quite go so sinister this time around. But yes, the dragon is shouting, "I have risen! The Lord Zastam hath given me life, and I shall make the most of it. All of you shall taste the sweet, bitter cold of undeath." And assuming Tank is at least conveying the nature of the threat, we will get an initiative roll for the first time in the Coalescence Chapter 5. Use a little football terminology. We've had 6.5 quarters without a score. So now we're finally going to roll some dice.
Tank's just gonna look in the general direction of the dragon, and in Draconic just go, "How about not?"
But I want to.
Lantirthi is ready to kill something.
Oh, definitely. She's just like, more roleplay, more roleplay, more roleplay. Oh, finally! I know Terry's ultra disappointed that the Dracolich didn't go, "And now it's my time to completely kick all of the ass." And let's see what we got going here. Hey, an 18, not too bad. Damn! 2 natural 20s. Alright. And seemingly from the clouds above comes the voice of Zastam that you've all heard before when he approached you with the generous offer to join the army of the undead a number of weeks ago.
It would seem that your efforts in trying to establish alliances will only yield further benefit to the army of the undead. Thank you for giving our zombies something to chew on.
And you can't see him, but if you scroll around the map quickly enough, I'm sure you'll see a number of red health bars scattered oh so painfully across the north and south sides of the screen. So that will represent your ability to at least hear them. Oh, of course, that's not working here on my my player side, but normally it does. And we can see from the torchlight at the other houses just what other locations we have here. There are a number of humans posted within the homes as defenders. They've all got bows and arrows pretty much. They are off the map, but they are represented basically by the houses themselves. And then the tokens that you can see inside of the areas of light represent the new NPCs that you have helped incorporate into this community as well as your own. So those NPCs are going to help fight this battle against the Dracolich. Let's see, there are 5 of you. There are 2. I need 1 initiative roll for NPCs. We're going to use the halfling for that. Add you in. And you get a... Alright. Miscellaneous NPC support will go on a 2. And how about zombies? Pretty decent. Oh, I forgot they have an initiative button. Didn't have to do that manually. Oh boy, I can't wait to use my Class D's. Or I'm sorry, my Class B zombies. It's not time yet, though. It's not time. Patience, Daniel, patience. Let's see, bonus of 3 to initiative, so that actually ends up being a 19. Alright. So they've got a 19.17 to edge tank out in the tiebreaker there. And I guess for the NPCs, we'll go with a 2.14 just in case it matters. Any other ties? Nope, nope, nope. Alright, I think we are good to have a combat. Okay, well, Katie, my friend, you have got the very first spot. You can just very faintly make out, you think, something very large over here. But, again, you're not positive, and at best you have an attack at disadvantage unless you get closer and can somehow determine for sure if there's something there that you should attack. The screaming and shouting is coming from over there.
Oh, that's always such a good sign. Okay, well, what about the only thing I can do is, you know, move my 1 square 30 feet. Sure, we'll go into this square, I don't care. Which does not help me at all, really, but I will ready an action so that way if something does come into my line of sight that is an enemy, I can shoot it and hopefully actually hit it.
One way that we can kind of use this map scale to our advantage is you can freely place yourself in any quadrant of the square that you want. So if you're moving east, maybe placing yourself as far on the east side will give you as much vision potential as possible. The only reason I scattered you guys out as I did here is in case you guys end up in the same square together. This way your tokens don't overlap. But J-Man, after having run an amazing intro campaign last night, why don't you kick off your turn here?
So it looks like the locals or whatever are readying themselves to defend themselves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of chanting and cheering coming from within the house. A lot of, we got this, we got this. Let's make our ancestors proud, friends.
Alright, I will trust them to be able to handle the regular zombies. So I'm going to call out to our new friends. I'm sure I've learned their names at this point. So I'll call to them. I don't really need to say to our group. The rest of us on this undead dragon. We need to take it down before it harms anybody else in this village. I think they can handle the other ones. I'll move forward.
Carther, or Arthur with a K, aka King Arthur, the dwarf that you've been speaking with, rallies the support in response to that. Aye! We've got this, friends! Let's do it!
I think I got transposed with somebody else. I can't get my thing.
Oh, yep. Got yourself wedged in there with Gale. Are you able to move now?
Yeah, I'm just opening my character sheet. Look at them.
Okie doke. Well, that's handy.
I'm actually gonna cast that on Mohula.
Nice.
So I will walk up to her, and then like my eyes roll back in my head and kind of go black, and the weird chanting happens again, and then like the slime coating secretes from my hand, and I just kind of wipe it on Mohula's face, and then she gets Long Strider.
Well, that's rather pleasant.
And that's my turn.
Well, I got a lot of zombies to move, and I don't know that any of them are able to get... No, it doesn't look like any of them are going to be able to get close enough to provide any danger. Some of them might pop into your lines of sight here, so let's just check that. Yes, yes, and then you do that, and then you do this, and then out of you. You guys are so candy. Alright. Yep. And to the south bank. Oh boy, we got this lone Furbolg down here who's gonna be in a little bit of trouble. There's a lot of zombies coming his way. We can just see the first of them. Thankfully, he does have some support inside the house, but outside he is he's a little on his own. That is it for the zombies, however, at this time. So we'll send it all the way back up here. Tank's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and move myself closer to the Drake Lich. Yeah, right about there. And my Steel Defender's gonna move just a little farther than I do. And about how far do I think the Draco Lich is from where I'm at right now?
Maybe 100, 120 feet.
Alright, I am going to, based on where I heard its voice coming from, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot off a firebolt towards it.
I believe Firebolt needs you to see your target.
Nope, just within range.
Nope,
He is going to
okay.
be at disadvantage, though, but not that that matters, even if you had advantage. That's a pretty far cry from this thing's armor class. You just kind of see your light dissipate into the distance and kind of smack against the ground. You think. It might have hit the Dracolich if it's in fact over there, but it doesn't look like it did much of anything. Could have hit and did the 2 damage, you still wouldn't know.
That's alright. I mean, I didn't really have anything else I could do to it, so
Sure.
at least attempt to hit it.
Fair play. Well, if that is it, we will try. 120 feet, huh? Yeah, not quite. Frightful presence. Not in play just yet. Let's see, we're gonna do a little bit of that. Float up a little bit. I think it's Aegis who catches just a glimpse of this dragon floating at the exterior of its site. The scale's gonna fuck with me here, but it looks pretty anyway. Yeah, we're gonna float right on up to here. We are 15 feet high, and we are going to use our breath weapon, which is a line. And, I mean, when's the last time you have the entire party in a line? But, again, the scale is going to throw this off. Dawn and Gale are likely, Dawn and Katie are likely very safe. Gale and Justin might even be safe, depending on how big this thing is. Yep, I do believe so. Tank is the only one that is hit. It ends right here, just in front of Feline and Moahula. So Tank, that is going to be a dexterity saving throw, please. That's a line of acid right there. DC is 18. You could burn your inspo for the session. Reduce that damage by half, or take 47 acid.
One second, I'm looking at something.
All right. And for all turns
Yep,
going forward.
I just had to double check. I'm gonna use my absorb element
Okay.
reaction.
And if I'm
So
not
I'll take half.
mistaken, this dragon is kind of just barely within shooting range of my oath bow. So can I use my ready to action at this point?
Uh-oh. I believe so. Just a heads up, as I was starting to say, for everybody except Dawn at this point, when your next turn starts, we will need a wisdom saving throw against this thing's frightful presence, unless you are immune to being frightened. And yep, it looks like you should be able to, it looks like you can see it over there. So yeah, go ahead, take the shot. What the?
Jesus Christ.
New year, old dice.
Yeah. I'm still working on those 2022 dice, you know?
Oh my gosh, I think so. Goodness. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum. Alrighty. Well, I guess let's get the recharge meter here on the Dracolich. So how much damage did Tank take? He took half then, yeah? I'm not seeing that.
Well, he still rolls his save too.
Well, he did, but he failed it.
Oh yeah, and then he takes half from that.
Correct. So yeah, he should be down
Yeah.
23 at this point because he round down. So I'm just wondering.
Yes, I was just about to. I didn't see up top where how much it hit me for.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
for 23. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I was. I was wondering if the health bar was not correctly synced up to your character sheet here, because that's been happening. Yep, there we go. All right, that will do it for the Dracolich. Go ahead with Moahula. And because of the way the icons are placed on the characters here, you guys cannot see just how high up this Dracolich is floating until you can see this side of its token, but it is 20 feet high. Just so y'all know, don't charge up on it and be like, oh crap, I thought it was on the ground.
Gail's just checking the scale out and everything like that.
Show. Yeah, unless your character is exceptionally fast, it's pretty much 1 square per turn. We can always fraction things out too, like if your character has a 45-foot movement, it'll be like 2 squares this turn, 1 square next turn, 1 square this turn, 2 squares next turn.
Well, her broom allows her to go 50.
That'd be in the same realm. So 2 squares this
Right.
turn, 1 square next turn, 1 square this turn, 2 squares next turn, whichever she wants to do. Very loose scale here, like we're trying to keep some degree of accuracy, but it's not like meticulous scale like we're used to. I was just trying to build a battle map for this. I was like, how do I do this? And I was like, wait a minute. I can just copy paste that section out, and then I put it on the map, and I was like, wait a minute, how do I do the scale? And I did do it with 5-foot squares at one point, but the map I think had to be like 3. I think it, oh god, I had to multiply it by like 6. So it was like 680 squares by like 340 squares long, so it was like impossible to navigate.
Okay, I'm gonna get out my broom and get into position to use it next turn.
All right.
And that will be it.
Scooting on down. Oh, did you roll your wisdom saving throw against the frightful presence, please? DC is 16 on that. Well, darn. Of course, it is the start of a new month, start of a new year. You got all your inspirations, all your hero points. If you fail that save, it does mean you can't willingly move closer to it, so that would affect what you just did there. Or you can try to re-roll that save, see if you can beat a 16, and just keep your turn as you had it. This is our dwarf buddy here, by the way, who we've been speaking with, Carther.
Okay. I'm going to use a hero point, Don says.
Okay. Should be a D8 for you.
Sorry, inspiration point, not hero point.
Gotcha. Gonna do a reroll entirely. Okay. Well, shit. So we're still sitting at an 11. If we do a hero point and you get a 5 or better, you make the save.
I will give that a try.
Hey, badass. You made the save, so you're good to proceed as you did. And, Dawn, go ahead with your turn.
Hear you, Dan.
What's that? Fine, keep your secrets.
She said that she could hardly hear you.
Is that true for everybody or just Gale?
I can hear you.
Everybody's coming through loud and clear for me.
Gotcha. Maybe next time you're helping her with her Discord, you can change my output or input volume like to a higher scale. Maybe that'll help out.
Yep, I'll check on that.
Kill. Go ahead with your turn while we're on it, though.
All right. My speed is 45. So I'm going to go 45 to here. Does that put me in range? Of the fear. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm like, in range of what? What are you trying to do? Throw a rock?
Well,
yeah,
you
you're
have to
still
s-
out of range.
You have to start your turn anyway.
Yeah, that was the second pre-qualifier. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna do a double move, but I'm going to move a little bit more strategically up this way, so we're not creating a nice little line for this thing to attack. And that'll end my turn.
We're gonna do a legendary interrupt here.
Ooh, he wants to give us milk?
We will spend 2 actions to do a tail swipe. I think at the metal guy who we hit with the breath weapon earlier. Oh boy, a natural 1! Ooh, ooh, ooh! Hang your head in shame. Yeah, that's all we got. So we will proceed to the village defenders here. That's all those d20s I was just rolling a second ago, just to expedite. The 8 die 20 represents all of our newly acquired Waterdeep NPCs. The 10 die 20 represents all of the defenders within the homes. Of all of that, a natural 20 is what it took. And that's the only one that hit, and wouldn't you know it, it came from our dwarven buddy who's just in the shadows over here. But Carther hit for a mighty 1 point of damage, but it is significant because it's the first point of damage this thing's taken. And that's the end of the first round. We pass it back to Katie.
Hey man, stop showing us up.
Aye, we told you we got this. 225 more rounds.
All right, and what was the range for the dragon's frightful presence?
Exactly at your range, 120 feet.
Awesome. So
Wisdom save, DC
Wisdom,
16.
there we go.
Nice. You are good to go.
Nice.
You are
So
immune to
why-
it for the rest of the day. Same thing with Gale. Once
Oh,
you make it, you're
there
good.
we go. All right. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my 2 attacks on this guy and just hope one of them fucking hits this time. Hopefully the first one did. Highly doubt the second one did.
Oh man, good thing that thing has some range to it, because even at 150, you're like right at the almost at the cusp. You're at 120 right now, so that first one does hit. 21 will hit and beat the mark. The what is this? Oh, you took the carved boost for Thanksgiving. Happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. So that's what we'll take that. All right.
Alright, and then I do believe that that's really all I want to do, even though it is inevitably going to move closer and... Well, no, I'm immune to it now. Ha ha ha. Well, never mind. I don't give a fuck about that anymore.
That's right.
But
Nobody cares.
I will end my turn there.
Put that cookie down now. Who told you could eat my cookies? All right, over to Feeling.
So what is he like? What, 80 feet from me then?
Let's see. 90.
All right, 90. I'll have to make my save.
Roll that save.
Go ahead and spend an inspiration for that.
There you go.
All right, and then I'll move forward 30 feet, so he's within 60, and I'm gonna try and light him up with some fairy fire.
Well, all right. Let's see. Try our save here. Bring in our NPC reinforcement, who I forgot about as well.
DC is actually a 16, because that's my druid spell, so it's wisdom based.
Okay. dexterity save. Of course, there is this. And then, good thing for that, because otherwise he rolled a natural 1. 2 rolls in a row. That's all he's got.
I'm going to use my lucky. Oh, wait, that's only for attacks against me. Never mind.
Dope.
I was looking at it like, oh, I had the lucky feat. I'm going to use that. I can't use that.
Yeah, if we were playing Alternity, you could.
Right. All right, so yeah. Color explodes around it as like weird glowing insects fly all around it, but none of them are able to land on them, I guess.
What is this? The 4th of July? Why do I know that?
What's the 4th of July?
I don't know, but I'm going to Legendary Interrupt again.
And, oh, my bad, it's the wing buffet that costs 2 actions to do. The tail attack only costs 1, so we're going to spend our second one. Another tail attack, we'll try it on the same target, on tank, that is. Well, shit. That's a natural 20 for 20 bludgeoning, 20 physical.
How close is... Well, no, he's not within 5 feet.
That's a negative. And then we got zombies moving in. That's weird. Alright, here we go. Oh boy, they're getting awfully close to our NPC support there. Got a couple more wandering around the back. Same for you. Tank, your turn is imminent. More of them wandering around the back, out of line of sight. Nobody can see them yet. Oh, this one just popped in around the side of the house over here, though. Back to the south side. Yeah, these guys are a long way from anything, but that's what happens when you start it on the on that side. Oh boy, our Furbolg friend though is about to get screwed up in a bad way, probably. None of them are adjacent to him just yet, but they are just about to surround him completely. And that is it for our zombie backups here. So over to Tank's turn.
We're going to go ahead and inspo that.
Oh, damn. All right. There you go.
Awesome. So now the Dracolich is going to realize that I am wearing winged boots, and I'm going to fly right up on him.
Hey, get out from under there. That's private.
And as I swing on him, I'm just going to look at him and say, my turn.
I'm going to reorient myself so you're not attacking the crown jewels there.
What is this orange peeler? It's nothing against me.
And he's also going to take 1d6 of acid damage.
Says who? I'm immune to acid. I'm a black dragon.
Immune or resistant?
Immune. His breath weapon is acid. Same thing as a red
He was
dragon.
taking one anyways.
Yeah, same thing as a red dragon, immune to fire. You just have one attack or two?
I should have 2.
Ouch. Well, that's a hit, but it could be 8 points worse if you have an inspo to burn. Otherwise, Lord knows we got plenty of people attacking this thing.
Unfortunately, I just used my inspo. Oh wait, actually no, I do have an inspo to burn. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
We'll take a bit more then. Got it.
And that's my turn.
All right. Recharge those breath weapon, maybe? Nope. Legendaries will certainly recharge, however. And what the heck? Do our frightful presence once again, just in case there are any who haven't rolled their save yet. I think Dawn's the only one. And then we're gonna play. We're gonna play this Black Dragon in honor of the New England Patriots. We're gonna use our acid breath again. What's that? Is that cheating? Oh, too bad. It doesn't say you can't do it in the playbook. Oh, I'm sorry. Bad joke. All right, we'll do something different. Yeah, I think we're just gonna frickin' attack this guy that just tried to attack our undercarriage here. 3 attacks. First with a claw. 18 on tank. I don't know about that. If he's not gonna put up any defense, then yes, it hits, and you're in death save mode.
No, it does not hit. I have a 20 with my shield.
All right then. Take 2. Second claw attack. Oh, even worse. All right, bite attack. Oh, come on. We're gonna spend a villain point. Oh no, I disallowed those. Well, I think that's all we got. Hi, darling. You're welcome.
Hey, at least you didn't quit him and get no extra damage.
1 minus 2. Okie dokie, that's a wrap for the Black Dragon here. I think we will hold our position. Pass it over to Gale's turn.
Okay, so we're raging. Hold on,
Sounds
I gotta get back to the
reasonable.
map. I can't move it.
You should be good now. Sorry
Never
about that.
mind, I got it.
And her size increases.
Jesus Christ, she's 30 feet wide.
That's a huge bitch.
And I get 2 attacks.
Okay. Well, shit. Yeah, and hell no.
I think that broom is struggling with the extra weight of her increasing in size.
I think so. it's like
Okay, we're
riding
gonna
a
use
flying
hero point on
tightrope.
that second one.
Okay. Oh, that's a miss as well, unfortunately.
And that ends my turn.
Okay, so over to Dawn, who is still out of range for the frightened radius here.
Cool. I'm going to take some more movement.
Hey, what happened to Steve Buscemi Pirate? I missed that guy.
Yeah, Gail didn't like that one.
Looked like he liked to get down and party too much. He'll always be memorialized in stream. We have at least 4 or 5 episodes of that recorded.
Right. All right. So I'm basically booking it up this way while the dragon is kind of distracted by those guys and trying to get into a better position. And that will make me done.
Okay, let's legendary interrupt now and do the wing attack. Each creature within 10 feet of the dragon, which will pretty much just be Gale and Ken, dexterity saving throws or take damage and be knocked prone. That can hurt if you are on a broom that is keeping you aloft. If you're wearing winged boots, being knocked prone is just kind of almost like being like 180'd midair. So yeah, tank will take 13 bludgeoning damage, which will, not only will, well shit, that's going to be different now. Because that's going to knock him to 0, and then he's going to hit the ground and fail a death save on impact. With the
Now the
results
wing
as they
boots,
stand.
when you lose altitude with the wing boots like that, they drop you safely.
They give you a feather fall? Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Gale.
it's like 30 feet per round or something like that.
Gotcha, yeah, we're only like 20 feet off the ground, barely at this point, so he'll just very gently fall at 0, and bam, bam, there's those death save markers. Red light, green light. And Gale is going to be knocked off her broom with that result. 13 bludgeoning damage, of course, half of that with the Barbarian Rage. And then she knocked off the broom 20 feet high is an additional 11 points of damage. You're welcome. From hitting the ground. I think you resist that as well.
It is bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, it's physical
so-
damage. So basically I had to hit her twice to do the equivalent of 1 damage there. And then I get to fly half my movement, which is 40 feet. Let's do that. Okay, 40 feet is really just a square and a skosh. Damn, you can still see me! Okay, Ayusi Pof will make his grand debut.
I know everybody's been really excited about having me make my appearance, so I'll do my best. I have a short bow.
Oh wait, that's the wrong guy. I'm like, wait a minute, how did he have thieves' cant? Wrong guy entirely. That's right, you have a light crossbow. Or abso-fucking-lutely.
Magic missile.
There we go. Even dozen points of force damage right there. 1 spell slot remains. 16. Giggity. Yeah, it doesn't do us any good now. Alright, let's go back to the NPC support, same as last time. Giggity giggity. And then... Man! Arrows flying everywhere. Some of them like kind of tear through your flowing clothing, like your capes and your cloaks as you're in mid-movement. Like an arrow will tear through part of something, like Manuel's very floppy hat, and arrow kind of goes through the top of that at one point. Yes, indeed. Big Drago right there. SB Troy, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome back.
Are the NPCs at least defending themselves at the Furbolg down there?
That one right there, yeah, he probably is not going to join in the assault. I think his best move will be to join the defenders inside the house, and that way the zombies are either trying to break into the house or move on to the next source of fresh meat nearby. Good looking out there. That's this stuff going on down here, just for our streaming audience watching out there. And yes, let's get back to top of another round here. You can definitely get one more in, maybe two, depending on how quick we go. Lantirthi, back to you.
Super fun. So, does he count? Is he like a celestial? Is he? I don't think the dragon is an undead, but I won't rule it out either.
Oh, I'm an
Um,
undead. I am a reanimated skeleton of an undead. It is a full black dragon Dracolich.
So then, does my favorite enemy also apply to him?
Heck yeah.
Fun. Okay, well then, keeping that in mind, I will once more hopefully land at least one hit with the oath bow.
Yes, indeed. One hit.
Yeah.
Although,
So it's just one.
what about the range? Oh, we are just at the 150, so you are able to just make that second attack land. Otherwise, disadvantage. They both would have missed. We'll take 8 points of damage. Okay.
And then, okay, hold on. Whoa. Okay, I am now like confused by my own character sheet.
What happened?
So when it says that, when it says that, listen, okay, I'm having a really bad day. So with favored foe replacing favored enemy, but like after I chose favored foe, things are still like doing like favored enemy. So like I have favored enemy undead, but there's like nothing in it. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's like this same thing.
Let's
Or why?
look it up
things are
in
not-
the compendium. Favorite enemy. Loading. Okay. Yep, you get bonuses to track them. You learn the language of the favorite enemy if they speak one. You gain an additional favorite enemy at level 6. See, I think favorite enemy is like the very basic version, and then favored foe gives you a bonus to damage, I believe is what it is.
Okay, so favorite
Yes.
enemies from the original PHB, favorite
Yes.
foe came from Tasha's as
Tasha.
a replacement to it.
Oh, it's a
So you can have
replacement.
You can have either favorite enemy or favorite foe.
Gotcha. Well, the favored foe gives you extra damage, so I'm guessing that's probably the one she would want to go with. The other one is you can speak
Yeah, I just
no
was
no
not.
extra language.
I just wasn't sure like why after I chose to like switch over to favored foe, like everything that I was choosing for like that kind of thing was still coming up as favorite enemies. I was like, are they different?
Yes, they is. What level is your character?
We are level 6, so I believe it's 1d6 extra damage.
Correct. Decent chunk of extra bit there. Take it. Ow. Well, okay.
Like I would have preferred like a nat 20 on the attack roll, but like whatever.
Sure, sure.
So that. Do I want to move? Yeah, I guess I'll move kind of to keep in tandem with this beast and go over a square to the east here to hopefully keep him within that 150-ish range. And then I will pass the baton to whoever is next.
That would be Fia Lien over to J-Man.
So how far would Tank be from me?
I would say playing the loose scale as we are. I mean, you could say it's 30 feet.
Alright, well, if he's within a single move, then I will run up to him and use my action to give him a potion of greater healing.
Ooh. 16 restore right there.
And that's pretty much it.
All right. The dragon will legendary interrupt, take a tail swipe in Tank's direction, angry at the turn of events, although we're well out of range at this point, so it's basically just at best flicking some dust in his direction. But then here come the orange zombies. They are now in range. We got one right up here next to our buddy. We got another one coming into range nearby. Likewise, shortly behind it. Another one moving across the front of the northeast house there. Another one still moving around the back side towards our elven ally. And our halfling buddy here is going to have some assault to deal with. Yeah, I think we may need to turn our attention away from the Dracolich and start focusing on these zombies lest our homes get overrun. We're going to have a full-on assault over here now with these zombies surrounding the southwestern structure. Let's try a handful of d20s. Ow! 2 natural ones in there, though. It's a very, very strong fortified house using the ancient traditions of construction. So a natural 20 does hurt, but these walls will hold against more than that. Looks like after all that, the only attack we have is this zombie coming up against the one NPC who we've actually had a little bit of a one-on-one interaction with. We're going to take a weapon attack on Carther, and that is going to be a wide swing to the right. Nothing doing there. Pass it over to Tank.
All right, Tank's going to get up and fly back at the dragon.
Yep, he is prone, so half move to get to his feet, and then otherwise good to go.
All right, and then gonna bonus action branding smite and going to go ahead and attack him twice.
What's his movement if he was half his movement to get up and get all the way over there?
Oh, my bad. I'm only. Can't get him into the corner I want him in.
Use the Alt key. Gotcha. So yeah, we are just out of range there, unfortunately, for melee attacks.
We'll hit him with a firebolt then.
Okay. That will hit. We will take it. Ow!
Question. So carved. Does that affect the spells as well?
Carve? Yes, it does. Yeah, any spell that gets a damage roll for it, we get the extra damage.
Are you at least 5th level?
I'm 6th level.
And you should be doing 2 dice of damage with that instead of 1.
Shh. Reads legit to me.
Not sure why it didn't roll for the 2.
It should automatically, you would think.
I also realized that I already put in for the extra damage and it didn't add that in either. I don't know what happened.
Well, go ahead, roll the extra d10. I accounted for the 1 already. Nice! There we go. Well, okay. Let's try breath weapon recharge. That's not happening. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. The dragon hisses for, let's see, 80 feet.
Wait a minute, after all that big talk, he's gonna run away.
I'm just readjusting my position. You've been moving around all combat. Cut me some slack. I stayed there all day. Wait, talking, I just revealed my location.
Hey, Zaztam, look at this idiot you just recruited. He's no good. Take him back.
Yes, he is low-level cannon fodder, but he will serve his purpose.
All right, that's over to Gale's turn now after having been knocked off the broom and prone. Who knows where this thing is now? Somewhere in the areas of darkness, we will presume.
I'm sorry, I was helping Gail with her next turn. Did the dragon go away? Did it move out
Yep.
of range?
It sure did. It flew away at least 80 feet.
All right, thank you.
It is her turn. If you guys didn't catch that.
Yep. So she's gonna move, use her pounce, which will give her an extra 25 feet. So she stands, moves 20 feet, gets her leap of an extra 25 feet. Just hit that button, Gale.
Remember, I did give her an extra 10 feet of movement, too.
Very true.
Does that get halved in the whole half for standing up?
It does, because that's added to the base movement.
Sorry, wrong one. Sorry, wrong one.
All right.
That should put her right next to that thing, and she should be able to make a couple of attacks.
So how many squares do I get to move? Because Don said these are more than 5-foot squares.
Well, they're 20 feet, or I'm sorry, they're 30 feet squares. The big problem is we don't know where it is right now, so it's all kind of guesswork. The last thing we saw is it drifted off southeast, but then after that, it had an action that we didn't see it take anything, so it could just be just out of sight, like maybe over here, or it could be anywhere within 80 feet of that position, including 80 feet higher up. Perhaps over here, perhaps over here, perhaps over here, like any number of places.
Oh, she's going after the zombie over here, so she should be able to reach it, because that's...
Oh, I see. I see what you're talking about. I thought we were talking about the Dracolich still. My bad.
No, because she can't see it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we're making the same point just when you said going after him. I was like, well, she was attacking the Dracolich, and now she can't see it, so I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, this one right here, you can easily get up to it. You do have to get into this square here effectively to do it. But yeah, you do have enough movement to get up, get over to this square right here, and kick some ass.
Yeah, she can use her orange axe, right, on these things?
Orange peeler? Oh yeah, these are all Class Ds. By all means, lay away. Blah.
Does that kill it or just hurt it?
It will just hurt it. I was just checking the formula, make sure it's all added correctly, but it does look good. That will finish it off. Yeah, on average, 2 normal swipes with an orange peeler, 1 will kill one of them. A crit on average will kill it.
And that's my turn.
All right. Don, over to you.
All right. So I'm going to move 45 feet this way. I'm going to spend a key point to dash, which will put me next to this guy right over here. And I'm going to, let's see, that's an action to activate that, right? Or bonus. Yep. All right. I'm just going to hit him with my orange wraps.
Yeah, looks like we're just barely hanging on even after both of those attacks.
And then as part of Tavern Brawler, I'm going to move it 5 feet back.
Oh, let me see if I can represent this on this scale. There we
Yeah,
go.
I know. It's just not in melee with me at the moment.
There we go, 5 feet. Ugh.
And that will end my turn.
All right, Ayushiko. Well, I don't know what to do. There's nothing here. Oh, wait, that's Jinkata's voice.
Yeah, I don't really know where I'm supposed to go here. Yeah, we've got some zombies over in this direction, but I'm just a little slow-footed guy, so I'll be there eventually. We'll take the dash action. Get right there.
And then a slew of NPC attacks here, now redirected at the nearby living dead. Damn, those are some sucky D20s. Wow. Alright, so we'll have 2 of those land.
But if you add them all up, it's a 74 to hit.
That's true. Oof. Okay. Yeah, you can hear some shouts off in this direction of, "Run! Get to the house! Get to the chopper!" And yeah, we're gonna run. Gonna have some reinforcements step out to assist us, but I don't know that they have an angle of attack from there. One of them does. We'll try D20. Nope. That's fair. Carther will get some retaliation on this one, trying to attack him. The one on Matheson will move that 5 feet back and try. A grab attack. 24 to hit.
All right, maybe by a little.
Yeah, looks like they'll get a hand on you. That's it for that. Although, I don't know what I'm doing here. The zombies are not on the turn order here, so I don't know why that one thought he could just step in and attack. Let's back that up and undo that. Yes, we are still on the survivors. Okay. Furbolg. Nope. And then all the dudes in the houses. That doesn't help. 10d20. Now we're talking. 1, 2, 3, and a natural 20. Make that 4, 5 landed attacks. And a natural 20. Just kind of randomly choose around the map which ones are taking this damage. Definitely the ones that are most threatening at this moment as best we can. And you. Natural 20, I think we'll use to finish this one off. This one being this one. Well, friends, that's a wrap for tonight. That is the end of our Session 8 schedule here. Of course, as I was saying at the start of the stream, we started Session 8 bi-weekly schedule back in November, and then we took a 6-week break off, and then we came back and finished off the last 2 games of the Session 8 schedule Sunday night, Wednesday night. We are now up to session 9 schedule starting this Sunday morning. As we delve deeper into the Coalescence Act 5, Sunday morning will take us back to the other side of Orange and Emir, and then after that, Monday, Tuesday will take us for our first glimpse into the post-apocalyptic realm of Kryn, Chicago. So we'll see just how that all plays out over the next week or so. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Thank you, Wednesday crew, for a solid session here. Great to be back. Great kicking ass alongside of you, and we will catch you next time around. As always, there is no RU without you. Have a good night, all.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Feel
Night.
better, Don.
Thank you.
어느새 여긴 너를 지고 밀려오는 너의 작은 바다 시간은 너를 감싸고 너와 내 발을 맞추면 우리의 이야기가 시작된 거야. Oh, every day, every night 넘쳐 흘러버린 맘에 내 두 손을 꼭 잡아줬으면 해. 조금만 더 맞춰줄래? 이렇게 말은 하지 않아도 돼. 지금 이 순간을 그려보는 거야. 지금 이대로 가득히 너와 너의 맞닿은 입술이 떨어지고 쏟아지는 너의 깊은 우주 영원하지 않다는 말은 믿지 않을래. 우리 비추는 별빛에 너와 내 눈을 맞추면 저 깊은 곳으로 빠져버릴 거야. Oh, every day, every night 넘쳐 흘러버린 맘에 내 두 손을 꼭 잡아줬으면 해. 조금만 더 맞춰줄래? 이렇게 말은 하지 않아도 돼. 지금 이 순간을 그려보는 거야. 지금 이대로 가득히
Every day, every night 이제 나만 바라봐 너 덕분에 got my life looking hella fly 내 맘이 변해도 never regret all the time that you and I've spent 이렇게 날 자꾸 너만 보여 너를 원해 Everything about you is making me say knowing that I'm priceless girl you are my treasure want you every single night
Oh, every day, every night 넘쳐 흘러버린 맘에 내 두 손을 꼭 잡아줬으면 해. 조금만 더 맞춰줄래? 이렇게 말은 하지 않아도 돼. 지금 이 순간을 그려보는 거야. 지금 이대로 가득히 한 그대로 지금 이대로 가득히 우린 그대로 영원히